morning, everyone, and welcome to Current Church. It is so great to see you guys all here this morning on this wonderful, foggy Sunday. It was so foggy on the way here, and I'm glad you guys all got here just fine. Yeah, it really is. Hey, it is so good to see you guys here. If this is your first Sunday with us, I want to tell you, welcome. Welcome to Current Church. My name's Ryan James. If we haven't met yet, I'd love to meet you after service. Just come up to me, give me a fist bump, shake my hand, whatever. I'd love to meet you. But there's going to be a QR code on the screen behind me. If you scan that QR code and just fill everything out, it'll tell us a little bit about you. And that gives me a time right now to tell you a little bit about us. Here at Current Church, we exist to encourage and equip people to be a follower of Jesus, no matter where you are on your spiritual journey. No matter if you've been a Christian your entire life, or you came here because you thought you were going to watch a movie. But either doesn't matter. We want to meet you where you're at, because that's what we're about here at Current Church. And you'll hear it a bunch here at Current. We want to be for St. Joe, which means we're for you. And we're for people here in St. Joe, no matter what they're doing, no matter where they are in their spiritual journey as well. In fact, we actually serve a lot of nonprofit organizations that we support. And because you just filled this out, wink, you're going to receive an email from us that's going to tell you about some of those nonprofits. If you just send us an email right back, we are actually going to send $5 to that nonprofit organization on your behalf just for visiting Current Church. So would you help us be for St. Joe? We would really, really love it. Man, have you guys all had a good Valentine's Day weekend? Yeah? Yeah, have you guys also been watching the Olympics? How many of you guys have an Olympian that's your Valentine? Oh, you do? Hey, that's amazing. We have a lot of stuff going on, and it's really fun. It's really a fun time. In fact, to kind of celebrate that a little bit, we are actually going to do our own little Current Church Olympic event. So I need 4 volunteers. I see 2 in the back of there. I think I see, yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. And is that Sammy? Yeah, Sammy. All right. Come on down. Once you make your way down here, if you will, make your way over here to Ben. He's raising his arms over and over, and he's got the Olympic medal on. Doesn't he? Or does he?
You got 5.
Oh, sorry. It's all right. This works right here. This works. This works. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do a Current Church bobsled race.
Yay!
All right, we are doing a Current Church bobsled race. Here are the rules. If the people up here in the beginning, they will see there's some tape on the ground and then forward and back. You have 2 teams. All right? One person is going to get down on the bobsled. The other person is going to push them down to the other side. Now, contestants, listen to me real quick. Once you get down to the other side, hey guys, once you get down to the other side, you have to switch places before you return. Does that make sense? You have to switch places before you can return back. All right? All right. Listen, I'm going to need you guys' help. On the count of cool runnings, we are going to allow them to get going. Ready? What is it? Yeah, feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's bobsled time. Cool runnings. Now switch. Oh, who is it? Did we have a wipeout? Hey, did we have a photo finish? All right, the winners of the Current Church is Sammy and I can't tell who's over there. Channing. Sorry, I had lights in my eyes. Sammy and Channing. Everyone give them a round of applause. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Cool runnings, y'all. Hey, here at Current Church, we love to have a little fun. And we actually have a great fun day planned ahead of us today, where we're going to sing a few songs. We're going to hear a great message coming today. We're going to be here for about an hour. But before we get into that message, we're going to sing a few songs. So if you guys will, go ahead and stand on up, look to your neighbor, and give a little USA, USA.
is the battle. You see my victory. When all I see is a mountain, you see a mountain moved. And as I walk through the shadow, your love surrounds me. There's nothing to fear now, for I am safe with you. So when I fight on my knees, with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And every fear I lay at your feet. I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. If you are for me, can be against me, yeah. For Jesus, there's nothing impossible for you. When all I see are the ashes, you see the beauty. The cross, God, you see an empty tomb. So when I fight on my knees, with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And every fear I lay at your feet, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows, you win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows, you win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. Shine in the shadow, you win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. So when I fight on my knees, with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. Every fear I lay at your feet, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. 'Cause you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, bending every heart. I worship you. Oh, oh, I worship you. Oh, 'cause you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Who you are, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop, no. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness.
So good to sing that with you. You guys can go ahead and take a seat. Such a good song. We haven't done it in a while around here. It's been a few years, actually, I think. I love the words of it, though. I know that that's a song that it's one of those songs that it's easy to sing when you're in seasons that are easy. And it's not so easy to sing when you're in seasons that are more difficult and hard. That's just one of those songs. It's different depending on what season that you're in. And I don't know where you guys are at today, but sometimes when life is messy and when it's confusing and it's complicated and things feel heavy, it's a little bit more difficult to sing words like that. God, feels quiet. It feels non-existent. And maybe that's you today. Maybe you're here today and that's where you're at. Like, you're just not sure where God could be in the mix of your life. And I just want you to know, if that's you, that doesn't make you strange or weird. It doesn't make you out of place. It doesn't mean that you're behind on faith any more than any of the rest of us. It doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. At the end of the day, what faith is at the end of the day is it's trust. It's a confidence that God is who he says he is. He's going to do what he says he's going to do. We're going to do a series, in fact, here in a couple months, later this spring, where we talk about that, what faith is exactly, and how we grow our faith, and how we grow our trust, our confidence in God. Even when you don't feel it, like we just sang, even when you don't see it, there's a God that's still working on your behalf, on my behalf. It's a matter of trusting him with our future, trusting him with our relationships, trusting him with our doubts, our questions. And one of the areas that is kind of tends to be most difficult for us to trust God. One of the areas of greatest tension is in the area of our finances, when it comes to our money, our generosity. Because when it comes to money, like that, for most of us, that's the place that we feel the most security, we feel the most control, we feel the most safety there. And I think that's why generosity is one of the biggest ways that Jesus invites us to trust him and trust that he's working and he's moving, even when we can't feel it, even when we can't see it, in that area especially. And our generosity, it matters. It doesn't matter just for you. It doesn't matter for you personally, growing your faith and trust, but it matters for our church as well. This week on Facebook, somebody posted this quote, and many of you probably saw it, many of you liked it and shared it, and thank you, Ashley, for posting this, because I think it's gotten more likes and shares than anything I've posted, so well done. But I want to read this quote to you. She said, some people see a movie theater. She says, I see a church. I see a group of misfits, nerds, business owners, musicians, football fans, coming together seeking love, acceptance, and connection. She says, I see the heart of each and every person, the blood, the sweat, and tears, deepest connections, laughter, encouragement, and people that we call family. And I love this space. I love that she says, you see a theater, I see a church, and I love this space that we have the privilege, of getting to meet in. It's something that we take seriously, and we love having this opportunity in this place. But the church has never been about the building. That's not what the church is at the end of the day. It's not the building, it's the people that fill it. It's for us specifically, it's about creating a place where people can show up, where people can find hope, where we can find connection with one another, and ultimately where we can find a connection with our Savior, Jesus, that loves us. And it takes a lot to make this happen every single week. Not just this space in here, but our kids' environments, our student environments, the production that we do, the care that we provide, the community impact that we make. We want to create a place, we want to create a space here in this theater where people can walk in and feel like, maybe, just maybe, there's something here for me. And so, again, I just want to say this, your generosity matters. We appreciate it. We're grateful for it. You're not just helping us pay the bills when you give to Current. You're helping us create ministry for yourself, for your family, for your kids, for families that aren't even here yet. You're helping us create that. And so if you call Current your church home and you're not yet taking the step, I want to invite you to give today. You can be generous in your giving and help us make this thing a reality. Many of you give on a recurring basis, and I'm grateful for that. We couldn't do that without you partnering with us, even when you're unable to be here in person. But you can scan that QR code, go to give.mycurrent.church. And here's the deal. If you're new with us today, I want you to hear me clearly. We don't want anything from you. We definitely don't want anything from you. There are people sitting around you, very generous people that sit around you and give because they want something for you, and they want something for your family, and they want something for your future. And if someday, in the near future or in the distant future, if this becomes your home, you'll have a chance to be that for somebody else as well. So I just want to say thank you for those of you that give. It matters. It's a big deal. We're grateful for it. As Ryan said, we're going to jump into a new series today. I'm excited about this one because I love the Olympics, and so it's called Games We Play. Go ahead and turn your attention to the screen. We'll have some fun to kick it off.
Hey everybody, Andrew here. We're out here in the wild to play some games. We have some professional game players, and they're going to be challenged by some everyday people just like you. So I think we're going to find that there's some games you should not play. Up first, ping pong, or table tennis if you're fancy. I'm here with our pro table tennis player, Lionel. Lionel, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great.
We're asking people to play against you today, but we're not going to make them try to beat you in an actual game. But we're just going to see if they can even return your serve. Do you think anybody out here is going to be able to return your serve?
I mean, they can try, but people challenge me. I'll let them have it. Yeah.
You let them have it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Sir, are you ready to play some ping pong?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be.
And what's your name?
Lane.
Lane? Okay. What's your experience level?
I've played a couple of times over the last 10 years.
Okay, well, I think you're going to do great. Hello, sir. Do you want to challenge our ping pong pro? Just see if you can return one serve? What's your ping pong experience level?
Very bad, no experience.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with anything with a racket.
I think I could return a serve. One, at least.
Okay, at least one from Lane.
Try it.
Stay in your lane, Lane. Oh, pretty mean.
Straight like we do in the basement.
Can we get her a racket? You ever feel bad for being so good at this? We did it. We did it. We're so proud of you. Have you seen Star Wars?
No.
This is just like at the end of the first Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
You're a winner.
All right, so today we are kicking off a new series called Games We Play. I'm excited about this just because I love this time of year, or time every 4 years, I suppose it is. Most of us in this room, I would venture to guess that most of you, to some degree, you like games. Most of us like games of some sort. We either love to play games or sports, or we love to watch other people play games or sports. One of the things that's I found interesting as I've gotten older, and as my kids have gotten older, is that as much as I love playing games, I actually have enjoyed watching my kids compete even more than I ever loved competing myself. I don't know if anybody else that has kids can attest to that, but it's more fun, and I get more competitive watching my kids maybe than I even did when I was, for myself. But I love watching my kids run in cross country. They run in track, and so it's just those are two of my favorite seasons of the year is to watch them. Some of us in this room, we love to watch other people play games and then try and play those games, right? That's part of why I've gotten into running, watching my kids compete. Then I started running a little bit more as a result of that. But this is why I love the Olympics, right? Because I love watching the Olympics and going, I think I could do that. I think I could try that. Perfect example. I'm pretty sure I could compete in the 2030 Olympics in curling. I already have the dad bod. So, let's go, right? And Ryan, me, you? We're just going to learn how to curl, and we're going to be in the 2030 Olympics together. That would be awesome. I would love that. But I have to say, just fair warning, this was not planned, but I think that you and I might be a little over-inspired. Watching other people curl. It looks so easy, doesn't it? Watching curling, but it probably isn't. It can't be. It can't be. But I think most of us, or maybe all of us in this room, have been inspired at some point in our lives to compete, even if it's not necessarily sports, but maybe board games or something else along the way. Some of you are into sports, some of you are not. Just a show of hands, I'm just curious, how many people in here, anybody in here say that you are overly competitive? Show of hands. Yeah, I see a number of hands. Just so you know, I saw your hand go up, but her hand went up first. So you lost. You lost. I just wanted to make sure I wanted all you overly competitive people to know that one of you won and the rest of you all lost. That's how that just worked. All right, there. Anybody, just out of curiosity, when it comes to being overly competitive, has anybody in this room ever been injured playing a board game or injured somebody else playing a board game? Yep. Yep. I see some hands. Do not ever play my wife or her family in spoons. Like, you will, like, that is just dangerous. If you like your life and you like your limbs, no spoons in my family. But, I love competition. Many of us love competition. I hate losing. This is why last Sunday for the preach-off, I was so mad that I lost. It's my first year losing the preach-off. And listen, some of you in this room are dead to me. Okay? I just want you to know, last Sunday at 10:45-ish, you all died. And that's how I feel from now on, because you voted for the other team. Now, I'm just kidding, but I love to compete. Many of us love to compete. We love gaming. We love winning. We hate losing. But in this series, we're going to talk about one area in particular of our lives where competition needs to be off limits. Where if we are competing in this area of our lives, it's going to be harmful. It's going to be toxic. If we're competing in this area of our lives, it might even be deadly, so to speak, to this area of our lives. It would be very unhealthy, and that is the area of relationships. And here's why. When it comes to relationships in particular, just think about all your relationships. A game that requires a loser in our relationships is a game that nobody wins. That's what we're going to talk about throughout this series. And throughout the series, we're going to talk about all kinds of different relationships. We're going to talk about our work relationships. We're going to talk about just our everyday life relationships out in the community. But I want to start today, at least for the time being, I want to start at home. Just think about your relationships at home and ask you this question. Have any of you ever won an argument with somebody in your immediate family at home? Anybody ever won an argument? You shouldn't be raising your hands to that one. Okay. Won an argument perhaps when you were a kid, you won the argument with your parents, or when you, now that you have kids, you won the argument with your kids, right? Or you won the argument with your spouse. If so, if you won the argument, I just want to ask, what did you win? What was the prize? When you, like with your spouse, if you won an argument with your spouse, was the prize like, congratulations, you won a one-night stay on the couch. Way to go, right? Or, if you won the argument with your kids, congratulations, your prize is now that your child hates you and can't stand you. That's the prize, right? Even if you actually won the argument, there's a negative result at the end of that, right? Does anybody, if you've ever won one of those arguments, was the other person, like, let's say an argument with your spouse, you're like, I'm going to win this thing, and then you win the argument. When it was all said and done, did your spouse go, congratulations, let's shake hands, good game, If you won the argument with your kids, did your kids go, hey, good game, Mom, that was fantastic? Or, hey, let's go another round, Dad. Let's go another round. I think that would be fun. Or if you won an argument with your spouse, when you were all done, did you go, you know what, just to be fair, let's go best 2 out of 3, honey. How about that? I'll tell you what, I'll even let you go first this time. How about that? No, right? But we all do this. We all tend to try to bring this idea of competition, there's a winner and a loser, into our relationships. We do it at work, we do it at home, we do it in the community. And at the end of the day, you may get your way, but along the way, you lose something. You lose something. And so the main thing that we're going to kind of look at, and I want this question just to be in the back of your minds over the next few weeks while we go through this series together. We're going to look at this question, and the question is, what's the win in a relationship? What is the win in any given relationship? And the answer to that is simple. It's the relationship. That's the win. The win is having a mutually satisfying, mutually enjoyable relationship. That's the win, where no individual person is winning and no individual person in that relationship is losing, because if one person loses in any relationship, then both people lose in the relationship. And many times what happens is when there's a winner and a loser, the two of you lose the relationship. And so today, to kind of kick this thing off, I just want to list some of the games that we tend to play in our relationship. These are games that either you've played these games yourself in your relationships, or you've seen other people play these games in their relationships, and it rarely goes well. Now, I'm going to list these things, but before I do, I have to make this clear. Do not elbow the person sitting next to you. Okay? There's no like, haha, we've been talking about this. You need to be working on this, right? No, not even a loud sigh. You can't even be like, like none of that. Okay? Right? No eye contact. Just focus on yourself. Worry about yourself. Is that the, yeah. You know the video. Worry about yourself. That's you right now. Worry about yourself. And think about for just a moment what you are bringing into your relationships, the things that you're bringing into your relationships that result in a winner and a loser. Because again, if one person loses, everyone loses. So we're just going to look at some of the games we play real quick. We're going to just kind of rifle through these. First of all, there's the change game. This is where you try to figure out how you can change the other person. Or maybe a better word would be fix the other person. I'm going to figure out how I can fix you. And we tend to try and be sneaky about this because we don't want them to know we're trying to fix that thing about them. Some of you went into marriage. You went into your marriage knowing that the other person had some things that you, like, I just know they need to fix that, and I'm going to fix that. I know I can change them. You went into your marriages thinking that you could play the change game. Another game that we play is the guessing game. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Men, we do this too, but women, you especially. This is where I'm not going to tell you what's wrong. You have to guess. You have to guess what's wrong with me. I mean, after all, if I have to tell you what's wrong, I'm trying not to sound like my wife. If I have to tell you, she's in the room today. I can say that because I don't pick on you when you're not in the room, just so you know. If I have to tell you what's wrong, then you don't really deserve to know because you should be smarter than that, right? And I'm just teasing because my wife doesn't really play that game. But some of you women do, I'm sure of it, right? Because we talk about it all the time. Third game that we tend to play is the guilt game. You know this one, right? Oh, you're just going to leave your dirty dishes sitting out there on the coffee table again? Oh, okay, fine. You don't want to go to this thing, then I guess I'll just go by myself again. That's the guilt game. Or, you know what? People at work, they don't talk to me like that. They don't speak to me. They don't treat me the way that you do. Like, people at work are different. That's the guilt game. Sometimes we'll even leverage this one to play the guilt game. And it sounds good, but it's actually, sometimes there's undertones. Well, I'm praying for you. Just so you know, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for this because you need prayer there. Like there's kind of that laying on the guilt a little bit there. Then there's the blame game. The blame game is where, like, nothing that I ever do could ever possibly be my fault. This is probably one I struggle with the most, right? If you hadn't started it, I mean, you're the one that kicked this thing off, or you said that thing, and so I was only responding to that. And if you just changed what you did, then we would have to. And then there's the passive aggressive blame game. This is where some of you professional, no longer amateurs, you are professional blame gamers, right? This is where the passive aggressive blame game is where you you apologize to make yourself look better, but in the process you blame them, right? Oh, I am so sorry for my reaction when you showed up late again. I'm sorry that you messed up. Or this one, I had to learn this one years ago. I am sorry that you misunderstood what I said. I'm sorry that you misunderstood my behavior, right? Like that's the blame game. That's the passive aggressive blame game. Then there is the comparison game. The comparison game, you guys have heard this one. We play this one with our kids from time to time. Your brother doesn't behave that way. Why do you behave that way? Your sister doesn't do that. Why are you doing that? Or, with your spouse, my mom isn't like that. Why are you like that? Or your mom isn't like that. Or she is more organized, or he's more organized, or they work harder than you do, and or he does more than you do around the house. Whatever. We play the comparison game. Then there's the shame game, similar to the blame game, but the shame game. You should be better than that. At this point, you should be able to work past that. You should be able to fix that. You should be able to clean that. You should be more mature. You should be more capable. This is where this is the game where we make others feel less than in order to hopefully motivate them to better. Does that ever work? Right? And when we're on the receiving end of the comparison game, when we receive that, we know that it damages the relationship, right? We know that doesn't build the relationship. It hurts the relationship. But when we're giving it, it's so easy to initiate that. It's so easy to form these types of habits. And then there's two more. There's the family of origin game. You guys are probably, if you're married, you're very familiar, or dating somebody like this is, you're probably very familiar with this one. Amy and I, we played this one a lot in the first 10 years of our marriage. Thankfully, that's mostly behind us. Probably all behind us at this point. But like, this is you're just like your mom, or you're just like your dad, or even better, I wish you were more like my mom, or I wish you were more like my dad. Can I just ask, just out of curiosity, for those of you who have played this game, it's a fun one, isn't it? For those of you who have played this game, when your spouse does that, I wish you were more like my mom, or wish you were more like my dad. Even if they're right, like even if it's something that, yeah, they should probably be more, like that. Do you ever respond in that situation like, oh, thank you. Thank you. As a result of you saying that, I feel so like I'm motivated to be better as a result of this. I feel so developed as a result of that statement. Thank you so much for speaking that into my life. No, because even when the other person is right, when it comes to the family of origin game, it doesn't make for healthy relationships. And then the last one is the motive assignment game. This is a difficult one too, right? This is the one where you assume that you can read the other person's mind. I know why you did that. Even if you don't know why you did that, I know why you did that. I mean, if you weren't so selfish, or if you weren't so insecure, or if you weren't so lazy, or if you weren't so, worried about the detail, or whatever it is, fill in the blank. If you weren't so this, that's why you behaved this way. That's why you did this. I can read your mind, even if you can't read it yourself. And again, even if you're right in this game, the relationship itself loses if you're trying to win it. And so these are the games that we all tend to play that no one truly wins. And as a result of the game being played, everyone and the relationship ends up losing. And over the next few weeks, we're going to unpack a few of these specifically. Not all of them, but we're going to unpack a few of them. But these are the games right here that you should never play at home. You should never play them at work. You should never play them in your neighborhood or in the community. These are the games that you should pack up as if it's a board game. You should pack this game up, put it back in the box, and you should go gift this game to somebody that you hate. No, don't even do that. Don't even play these games with people that you dislike, because they're not healthy for us. But if you're like me and you love games and you love competition, if that's you, and you want to work a little bit of competition into your relationships at work and at home, in your love life, in just your life, if you want to do that, then there is one game that I would highly recommend. And it's a game that can be played by anybody age 5 and up. It's for one. You can play this game by yourself, all the way up to infinity players. In fact, if everybody played it, it would change the world. And that game that we're going to look at was introduced to us about 2,000 years ago by the Apostle Paul. Paul was a religious leader. He was a Jew, a religious leader in the Jewish faith system. And he, if you don't know this, he hated Christians. He hated this movement of Jesus. He did everything he could to squash it out. He killed people just for believing in and following Jesus. And then he had an encounter with Christ that completely changed his life. He ended up becoming a Christian. And then he began spreading Christianity throughout the known world. And one of the things that he did is he took the teachings of Jesus, and he often he wrote letters to churches, and he tried to contextualize the teachings of Jesus specifically for Gentiles. That's for people that aren't Jews. So even though he was Jewish, he wanted non-Jewish people to be able to follow Jesus. He wanted to give them contextualization of Jesus' teaching so that they could become followers of Jesus. And one of those letters that he wrote was to the church in Rome, Christians in Rome, and he introduced what we're going to call the honor game. This is the game that we win in our relationships by losing. When we intentionally lose the honor game, the relationship wins. And here's the thing about the honor game. If we played the honor game at work, if we played it in our families, if we played it in the community, if politicians played this game, if everybody in your neighborhood would play this game, then everybody would win. So this is how Paul introduces the honor game. He says, this again, we're in Romans. He says, be devoted to one another in love. That's how he starts. Be devoted to one another in love. Now, this can be a little bit unclear. It's like, what exactly does being devoted to each other in love look like? Especially, it's Valentine's Day weekend. We have some interesting views on what love is and what it isn't in our culture. So we need some clarity here, Paul. Like, what does this mean? And then he says something, and I'm going to give you the literal translation of the original Greek directly into English, not like giving it grammar and everything. The exact Greek directly into English. He says, be devoted to one another in love, giving honor one another, going before. That's some fantastic grammar there, Paul. Giving honor one another, going before. That's literally translation from Greek to English. He's like, I want you to be devoted to one another by giving honor one another, going before. In other words, instead of trying to be the first in your relationships, I want you to compete to be the first at putting the other person in all of your relationships first. You're going to be the first. You're going to go before the other person. He's like, how quickly can you show honor to one another even before they show honor to you? So here's the translation as it is in our actual English scriptures. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. What does this look like? It's a choice. It means choosing to treat other people like they deserve more honor than you do. Whether they truly deserve more honor than you or not, you are going to choose to honor the other person as if they deserve more honor than you. There's another letter that Paul wrote to the church in Philippi, almost the exact same thought. This is what he writes to them. He says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Can you imagine if we just did this? If every single person on the entire planet just did this right here for one day. Can you imagine? Like, just imagine our political system in the U.S. If every person did nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, how much that would change the world. Just one day, right? And then he goes on. He says, again, almost the exact same thing he just said in his letter called Romans. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves. He's like, I want you to view other people as if they are more important than you, as if they have more value than you. What is value? That's treating other people like they are worth more than you are. Whether they're actually worth more than you or not is irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Because again, it's a choice. And we know how to do this. You know how to do that. You know how to give people honor. You do. And I know how to do this. We just have to decide whether or not we will. And here's why I know that we know how to do this. Here's why I know. Have you ever met anyone more important than you? If you haven't, loser. I'm just kidding. That was for you, Jamie, by the way. Yeah. No, but we've pretty much all met somebody more important than us, at least in human, as far as human standards in our human eyes go. We've met like the CEO of a company, or we've met perhaps a famous author, or we've been in contact with a musician, went to a concert or something, or a politician, or we went to a game and saw an athlete, or maybe a social media influencer. This last week, Harmony got back from Florida, and she told us when she got home that in the airport, in the terminal there in the airport, there was a social media influencer that she's seen on social media that she was like so nervous because I guess she likes them, and she was like, I didn't know how to, like, was I allowed to get a picture? Is that okay? Like, could I snap a quick picture or whatever? And that's just kind of the way human culture works, right? When you've met somebody that is quote unquote more important than you, you get nervous. You wonder if you can take pictures, that kind of thing. The most recent experience that I had with this was when I flew out of Kansas City Airport a few years ago. The most recent significant experience that I had with this, it was early in the morning, and I'm walking through the airport, and I just come face to face with this guy. Does anybody here know who this is? Just show of hands. Anybody? I see a few hands. This is a social media guy, comedian. His name's Trey Kennedy. Really funny. He got his start by making fun of middle school students, and it was hilarious. But he has some really great videos. So I'm walking into the airport, and I walk by this guy, and you guys, if you've ever experienced this, you know what this is like. But you pass somebody not in the context that you usually see them in, and you do a double take, like, hold on a second, that's a friend of mine, right? Or that's somebody that, like, you know what I'm talking about? And in that moment, I thought, hey, I know him. And then it was like, oh, I know where I know him from. And as we cross paths, like our shoulders just kind of pass each other, I was like, Trey? And he turns around and he's like, yeah. I was like, hey, my wife and I, we think you're hilarious. Can we get a quick picture? And he was so nice, and he let me take a quick picture with him. And I wanted to respect his time. I wanted to value his time. And so I didn't take very long. I just snapped this picture quick. And in his defense, I know he looks tired. It was about 4:30 a.m. Okay. So we snapped this picture quick, and I was so nice, and he was so nice. And then I got to my gate, and I hopped on Instagram. I sent him a message, just said, hey, thank you for taking the time just to take that picture. I know it's early and you got stuff going on. And he replied, nothing. I didn't get anything. So he's a jerk. And no, I'm just kidding. I guarantee you he gets messages from people all the time and doesn't respond to them. He probably had no idea. So Trey, if you're watching this, hi. Anyway, going back to the question though, how do you feel and how do you behave? How do we tend to behave when we're around somebody like that that we hold in high esteem? Even if you weren't able to have a conversation with them, they're just close, they're just nearby. When let's say you go to a Chiefs game and you're in the tunnel and they're walking by you, you don't even have any interaction with them. How do you feel? How do you behave? Even if you're not having a conversation, they're just close. You treat them and you feel like they're more important than you. Right? You don't interrupt them. You don't correct them. You don't, if they say something that is even remotely funny, you laugh. You respect their time like I tried to do with Trey that day. We all know how to do this. What if we just did it with every single person we come in contact with? Years ago, when I was a teenager, my family had the opportunity to go to a dinner where the vice president at the time, Vice President Dick Cheney, was giving a speech. And we got all dressed up like we were going to see somebody important. And we put on our nicest suits and ties. And we went to this thing. And turns out they oversold the dinner. They told us they didn't have enough plates for all of my family. So my parents got to go in and see Dick Cheney give a speech while me and my brothers had to wait out in the hall. And so while we were waiting, my brothers and I, we got this brilliant idea. What if we snuck backstage and tried to meet Dick Cheney just to get a glimpse of him? Just to try and talk to the Vice President of the United States. What if we snuck back? I mean, we were the only ones in the hall. We could sneak around and get away with it, right? Does anyone believe that we actually did that? No, we didn't do that. Why? Because that would be dishonoring to the Vice President, right? And a good way to end up on the news that night. That just would not be smart. I'll tell you what did happen, though. A family member friend of ours, I've told this story in more detail at another time, but a family member friend of ours who was part of the Secret Service detail for the Vice President, which is why we were there in the first place, saw us there in the hallway. He says, hey, come with me. He does end up taking us backstage, and many of you know that we got to meet the Vice President, and he had a whole conversation with me and my brothers. We have a picture of it to this day. And I was nervous. Right? I had to honor the Vice President as if he deserves more honor than me. And Paul's like, I want you to do that with everybody. I want you to honor everybody as if they deserve more than you. I want you to do that for every single person, not just the quote unquote important ones. It's like, I want you to honor one another above yourselves. I want you to treat them as if they are more valuable than you. This is a game that you can play with every single person in your life. You can play it with your spouse. You can play it with your kids. You can play this game with your neighbors. You can play this game at work. You can play this game in this theater. You can play this game at the Ruby Theater. You can play this game I'm going to do whatever I can to win the honor game. And that doesn't mean that you can't have difficult conversations. Sometimes there are things that need to be addressed in our relationships, with our kids, with people that we work with. That has to happen. But at the end of the day, followers of Jesus honor people above themselves. We don't need a lesson on how to do this. We just need to do it. And I know kind of the pushback on that as well, but Ben, people don't have, like, there aren't people that are more important than other people. We are all equal in God's sight, right? We all have equal dignity in the sight of God. And that is true. We are all equal. We're on equal playing ground when it comes to God. But that's not Paul's point. He's like, I'm not saying that they have to have more honor or more value than you. I'm just saying you have to treat them like they do. And then Paul goes on, he goes on and tells Christians, followers of Jesus, why we have to do this. Now, if you're here today and you're not a Christian, if you're not a follower of Jesus, you're exploring faith, you have questions, you're not there yet, that's not who you are. The thing is, reality is, you could stop right here. Like, we could let you off the train right here. And here's the reality. You could do what we've talked about to this point in all of your relationships, and it would completely change your life. It would completely change your life. You would have a better life, and you would have better relationships. But if you are here today and you are a follower of Jesus, this is important. Paul tells us why we don't have any excuse when it comes to this. He says, I want you to have this attitude in yourselves, which was also in Christ Jesus. I want you to adopt the attitude, the posture, the approach that Jesus had in all of his relationships. And what attitude was that? The attitude that Jesus had was that he constantly treated other people like they were more important than him. And here's the thing. Nobody that ever walked this planet was more important than Jesus. I mean, this is the guy who, after his death and his resurrection, that people for over 2,000 years have worshiped. You don't worship human beings, right? We worship Jesus today. No one has ever, in all of history, been more important than Jesus, and yet he treated every single person as if they had just as much honor, just as much value, if not more value than himself. Paul goes on, Jesus, who being in very nature God, he was God in the flesh, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. When Jesus was playing cards, he never played the God card. He never played that I'm God. Like, I can do whatever I want. I can get whatever I want. Those people over there, they're sitting at my table. I want you to remove them so I can sit at that's my table, right? Jesus never played that. He constantly used his power. He constantly used his position on behalf of everyone else. And Paul's like, this is what following Jesus looks like. He never used his position to his own advantage. Instead, he made himself nothing. This is the game that Jesus played. This is the game that he played. Were people more important than Jesus? No, but he treated them like they were. And that's literally the gospel. That's literally what the gospel is. The gospel means good news. The good news is that Jesus treated you. And Jesus treated me as if we are more important than himself. He took your sin and he took my sin on himself. And get this, he died as the lowest of the low, as if he were a criminal, even though he wasn't. That's what he did for you. And that's what he did for me. Which means our excuses are gone. Now again, if you're not a Christian today, I guess for you this is optional. But I'm telling you, it'll make your life so much better if you do it. But if you're a Christian today, if you're trying to follow Jesus, this right here is not optional. He made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant. He became a servant to you. And he became a servant to me. And Jesus wants us to follow that example. I think if Jesus were standing right here in the room today, he would say, listen, I want you to do whatever it takes to out-honor the people next to you. I want you to do whatever it takes to out-honor your spouse. I want you to do whatever it takes to out-honor your kids. I want you to do whatever it takes to out-honor your parents, your co-workers, the people that are in your community. Out-honor every single one of them. I want you to competitively play the honor game. So that in all your relationships, people experience the same honor that God gave them through Jesus. And here's the great thing about the honor game. When it comes to our relationships, when everybody plays, everybody wins. But in order to play this game, we have to stop playing all those other games that I listed earlier. In order to play the honor game, we have to stop playing all the other games. And so over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about a few of them. So next week, don't miss part 2 of games we play. God, this game is so difficult for us to play in our relationships. And it makes sense because we're selfish people just by nature. We want what's best for us. We think about our own needs. We think about our own wants and our preferences above ourselves. We do it in our marriages, our dating relationships, with our parenting relationships, our relationships with our parents. It's so tempting to push for what we want. So God, I pray that this week and all month long, that you would help us to figure out how to out-honor everybody else in our lives. Those people at work that are difficult to get along with, help us to out-honor them. Whether they give us honor and respect and value back or not, help us to give them honor and respect and value. For those people at home that are difficult, help us to give them respect and honor and value in that relationship. Help us to win in our relationships by losing the honor game. We know how to do it. We just have to do it. So God, I pray you give us the courage to do it and the wisdom to know when. We love you, Jesus. Pray it on your name. Amen. We're going to close with a song together. I want to invite you to stand, and we're just going to, the very first line, show me what surrender really looks like, is a perfect way to kind of cap off this whole thing today. So let's sing together.
Surrender really looks like. Show me what it means to trust your heart. If I'm waiting for the perfect moment, then there's never been a better time to start. You can have it all. So ironic. You made me so you know and I pretend. Your faithfulness resolves my indecision. So I choose to yield myself over again. Yeah, and I'll do it every chance that I get. You can have it all. You can have it all. Lord, you can have it all. You can have it all. You can. You can have it all. You can have it all. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated to trust in your heart. That is the invitation. So I'm letting go now. Know that I won't regret it. I'm laying it down. It's all on the altar waiting. It's all on the altar waiting. hard. It's not that complicated to trust in your heart. That is the invitation. Oh, so I'm letting go now. I know that I won't regret it. Laying it down. It's all on the altar waiting. You can have it all. You can have it all. Lord, you can have it all. You can have it all. You can have it all. You can have it all.
Thank you, Jesus. It's really like that message. I love the theme and everything we're going through, and actually look back and think about the games that we're playing and the question if we really should be playing some of those games or not. But I hope you guys have a great week as we chew on some of that that we just learned today, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Part 2 is going to be next Sunday of the games we play. And before you leave, I want to say one more thing. I said earlier that we are for St. Joe, and that means that we're for you. And we do not want you to leave here without us giving you guys the opportunity. If you guys need something, if you guys need prayer, there's actually going to be people lined up here on the little landing here. So as you dismiss, if you just want to come up to one of us and ask for prayer, we would love to be there for you and pray for you. Everyone else, you guys have a great week. Hope you guys go home and enjoy your Valentine's Day weekend. Enjoy some Olympics. And if you're not enjoying all that, I know I'm going to be playing a game this afternoon. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, you guys have a great week. Later.